What's going on, everybody? It is Monday, July 26th. The Seattle Kraken are a hockey team. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in training camp. And the Big 12 is no more. And you're tuning in to your number one favorite podcast for all things Steelers, Penguins, WVU, UFC, and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm Joe Riggi, and that's Harry Baxter. Harry, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Another Monday.
Not just another Monday, our 20th show Monday.
That's right.
That's right. Our 20th podcast of H&J Talk Sports.
It's exciting.
Very exciting. And guess what else? We're less than 10 away from 100 subscribers. We're going to blow it out of the water by football season. 100 subscribers by football season. Less than 10 to go. If you're watching, hit the sub. If you're new here, if you watch every week but haven't subbed yet, you should sub because this is the best sports podcast for your teams, man.
Remind them, how do they sub?
Remind them what?
How to sub.
How to sub. If you want to subscribe to the show, you can see right down below this video, there's a little bar that says subscribe. You can also hit the little counter in the corner of the video that shows how many left we have to 100. You hit that subscribe button and you hit the notification bell. So every week, you know, when we post new videos, we have new podcasts every Monday and new videos all week. But that's enough of the chit chat. Let's get into this crazy week of new hockey teams and dissolving divisions in college football. What should we start with? I'm going to let you call this one. What do you want to talk about first?
We'll do hockey first.
We'll do hockey first. There was an expansion draft this week and there was an entry draft this week.
Yeah.
The Penguins, we talked about it last week, traded Jared McCann to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who didn't protect him, and he got picked in the expansion draft, so he is now a Seattle Kraken. Brandon Tanev got picked from the Penguins, so he is now a Seattle Kraken. It's sad to see them both go, especially Tanev. When he walked out in that Kraken jersey, I got a little upset. But you know, as per the GM Heck saw, we needed to shed some cap. He was afraid we were going to be over the cap come start of the season. So that was kind of the reason. And plus, with Malcolm being hurt, he made it clear he wanted to make sure all the centers were protected. So I think that's one of the reasons Carter got protected over Tanev or another McCann or another player. So you had to protect your centers. You had to get rid of some cap. As much as we love Brandon Tanev, he was being paid way too much for a bottom six forward. So he's gone, which is unfortunate, but he can be replaced. The Seattle Kraken, they look like a Ron Francis built team. They look like the Carolina Hurricanes. Some of his moves were surprising. He went very young. He focused on speed and two-way forwards and two-way players. He got some big defensemen, though. His defensemen are big. But it looks like a Ron Francis built team. I don't think they're going to be as good as Vegas was its first year. But who knows? No one thought Vegas would be good either. So who knows? They could be good. They don't look as good as Vegas to me. He went very young with the draft. He went big on defense. We'll see. It's going to be exciting. Then we had the entry draft. Penguins only had like 4 or 5 picks in the draft. 3 were 7 rounders, 1 second rounder, 1 fifth rounder. So not a lot of picks. There's not really much to talk about.
You don't think anybody's going to make an impact next year?
Next year, no. So as far as their picks, I mean, their second round pick, which was their highest pick, was Tristan Bras. Or no, that was their 5th round pick. Or no, that was their second round pick. Second round forward. Yeah, Tristan Bras. A couple years away from maybe playing in a bottom 6 role. Nothing spectacular. One other pick I'm interested in is they picked up a Russian in the 7th round, Kirill Tankov. He's already like 20, 21 years old. That could be interesting. That's kind of an off-the-wall pick. Other than that, I don't know. Nothing to delve into. It was kind of there was a lot of first-round picks being traded this year, and I think that goes to what the GMs kind of thought of this draft pool. I think it's one of the weaker ones we've seen in the past few years. So nothing to get excited about. But Harry,
right,
but
to the next season.
we got free agency this week. Free agency opens, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. So real quick, I wanted to go over some potential free agents Pittsburgh could target. They've made it clear they're looking for a goalie. That could happen with free agency or trade. Now, they're not looking. I want to specify this for everyone because I've seen some wild rumors on social media about who's coming to Pittsburgh. Hextall has said he's not looking for a replacement for Tristan Jarry. They're kind of looking for a 1B goaltender. So someone to maybe share some time or to step in if Tristan has struggles this year. So with that said, some goaltenders I would look at. Philip Grubauer, I think, is a very good fit. And I think that would almost be too good. But I think Colorado will re-sign him. They're trying hard. Tuukka Rask, he's been giving us trouble in Boston for years. Wouldn't it be nice to finally have him in the right black and gold?
That would be nice.
He's a little older, but he's been good. I think he would make a good 1B to Tristan Jarry. And you wouldn't have to worry about him if you played Boston. So, Antti Ranta, I think that's another good 1B option. This is a little crazy pick, and I think the Islanders are going to re-sign him. But Ilya Sorkin, he screwed us in the playoffs. Why not bring him to our side? But I think the Islanders are pushing pretty hard to re-sign him. There's a lot of goaltenders available, a lot of veteran goaltenders. So who knows? I mean, it could be anything. A few other picks I would look at too on forward. Blake Coleman, although he may be too expensive. That's a good left wing. Brandon Saad, Pittsburgh kid. I've been wanting him in Pittsburgh for years. Left wing. That could be a good fit. I don't know. There's a lot available. Ian Cole on defense. Bring him back. Let's win another cup with Ian Cole. Although I don't think Sullivan likes him. I think that's one of the reasons he got traded. So I don't know. Do you think we see any big moves, Harry?
I don't know how much space we have. Cap space.
Your sound's cutting out, Harry.
But I don't know how much cap space we have.
Not a lot. We'd have to move something to bring anything big. And that's why I wouldn't get excited if I were a Penguin fan.
Yep.
I think we will see maybe a veteran goaltender, maybe some depth on left wing, maybe some depth on D. Unless you move someone, you move Pettersson maybe. He's been talked about being traded a lot, but I'm surprised. If he didn't go in the draft, I don't think he's getting traded. So I don't know. That's our Penguin news for now. We'll have more to talk about next week. Free agency. Hextall said he's not going to make any big moves. So guys, temper yourselves. Don't get excited. People are going crazy during the draft, waiting for the Hextall to make a move. Remember, guys, we won the division this year. We don't have to burn the bridge down, okay?
A little bit. Lost in the first round.
I know. Again, we lost in the first round, but one more year before we burn it all down, I think. We'll see. Another Pittsburgh news, Steelers training camp started this week. How exciting is that?
It's coming. Football season's a-coming.
It's a-coming.
September
2
9th.
weeks away. What was that?
September 9th is the first regular season game.
Yeah, we're about
a little over a month.
A little over a month away from
6 weeks.
preseason. A little less than a month from preseason. What we haven't talked about yet, because I think it happened after our last show, Melvin Ingram signing. You like that?
I think that's big. If he's healthy.
That is big.
I may have to change some of my predictions because
is it that big?
he's big time when he's good. When he's healthy and he's on the field, he's really good. He's Pro Bowl level for sure.
His injury history worries me, but
injuries were, but they only signed him to 1 year.
Yeah.
But you have him and Hayward. I mean, that'll be tough.
That was an exciting move. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's gonna make the defense even better.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the worries I had about defense have honestly been erased if they can keep healthy. Now the depth, still not excited about, but
you need. I mean, if you have a weaker secondary, corners particularly,
corners.
Yep. I mean, having a better rush goes a long way. Less time those guys have to cover. I think it's big. If he's healthy, the defense is going to be a problem. Maybe gives us a shot. I think if he's healthy, I think we could be in the mix because I was predicting us as third.
Yeah.
But depending on how the offense comes along, if he plays like he can play, we could definitely be back in the mix with him.
Well, my goodness, Melvin Ingram, you won Harry over, and that is hard to do. This
I've
man was
been
doom and gloom a week ago.
I was a fan of him since he was in college. He played at South Carolina. He was good.
It's a good sign. It really, yeah. I mean, a lot of what you're saying, there's been holes to fill on defense. We've been worried about depth. This is a big up front. It's very big.
Maybe a little old school Steelerish.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's what we need.
It might be a good thing to focus on the run game, get that going, have a good defense that's tough, keep the offense off the field.
Back to Blitzburg. Strong up front, strong run game, keep it on the ground.
That could be exciting.
Yep.
I like it. Good move. Not expected.
Another big thing we've talked about on our show is the roller coaster of Vince Williams. He was a Steeler. He was not a Steeler. He was a Steeler again, and we got excited. And now he retired the day before training camp started.
No.
And apparently he didn't tell anyone. So Tomlin, no one knew about it.
I think he just wanted to retire as a Steeler.
I mean, it seems like it, but you think if that were the case, he would have said something too, not the day before training camp. So that was kind of weird.
I think it's not a huge blow. It was a little guy. It's good to see him.
Yeah. It was sad though, because we were kind of sad when he left, even though he's a little older. We talked about how he really represents Steeler football and what it means to be a Steeler. And then he came back and then he left again. So, but dang, Vince Williams, good luck to you. Good luck to you, sir. One interesting thing in training camp is rookie offensive tackle Dan Moore Jr. Apparently got into 2 fights the other day. One against Cam Hayward, which if you're a rookie, that seems a little odd to me. Now, fights happen in football practice and training camp a lot. It's more common than people would think, correct?
Yeah, it's a physical game.
But Tomlin's comments made me raise my eyebrows a little bit. So not only did he fight Cam Hayward, which is probably the leader of that, he's one of the team leaders. Cam Hayward's been coaching the rookies in the OTAs. He's been vocal. He's one of the veteran members of this team now. So he fought Cam Hayward. That was his second fight. And then afterwards, Tomlin came out and said something about how we don't teach this, so we don't coach this. So normally in a situation, you think Tomlin would brush it off as it's a physical game, pretty much what you said. But he had those comments made me think a little bit that this might be a problem.
Wait and see. It's still really, really early. He's used to being, these guys come from college where they're the man, they're the best players on the team. And they come to the NFL where they're back on the bottom.
Yeah.
Some people don't take it too well.
No, but God, if you're a rookie, you got to make a good impression. I don't think fighting guys like Cam Hayward, your first practice, is a good way to go about that.
It's going to come down to if he can play or not. If he can play,
yeah,
be all right. If he can't play, then he'll be gone quicker than.
Well, one thing Pittsburgh definitely doesn't need is more attitude problems.
Yeah, but they could use some feistiness.
Feistiness is good,
especially on the offensive line.
But I don't like the coach coming out and talking.
I don't see was a lot of the emotion. Now he's gone. Good.
We'll see. I'm keeping an eye on this one.
All right, keep an eye.
I'm keeping an eye on Dan Moore Jr. I'm keeping an eye on Dwayne Haskins.
Doesn't worry me yet. Neither of them worry me yet.
Also, the Steelers released their first depth chart from training camp. Nothing too surprising on there. Mason Rudolph so far, again, it's only been a couple days, is listed as the number 2 spot on the depth chart. So we'll see if that changes or sticks.
You won't see that change until the preseason.
You don't think so?
Not until the preseason games start coming.
Okay.
And these guys start playing. That's when you can see if Haskins can overtake.
That's probably the most excited I've been for preseason game. Usually preseason game does nothing for me, but I'm excited to see Dwayne Haskins with the ball. See what he can do. Well, he's not getting punched by his wife or suing Instagram models. So we didn't talk about that. We talked about his drama a little bit. His wife, right after his wife punched him, he apparently went and sued a Instagram model for like $20,000 to fix his tooth.
That money?
Yes.
No worries. Yeah, no worries.
You're never worried until you're worried. Never worried until you're worried. Well, I'm worried about West Virginia, Harry. I'm very worried.
What's going on? I haven't heard anything.
You haven't heard anything?
I haven't heard anything.
Have you been sleeping under a rock? I don't believe you. The Big 12 might be over.
Yeah.
The Big 12 as we know it could be coming to an end.
It's looking bleak.
Looking bleak. All because Oklahoma and Texas are headed to the SEC.
Yeah.
And they couldn't make an official announcement. Hasn't been an official announcement yet. Could be as soon as tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they could get voted in pretty quickly. If the Big 12 dissolves, well, let me not say that. In your opinion, what's the most likely thing to happen? Does the Big 12 get realigned or does it get split up?
It'll get split up.
Split up. So the Big 12 is no more.
Yeah.
So where does WV go? You go?
It's a good question. Very good question. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know how fast everything's going to happen.
It seems like it's moving quick.
Media rights end in 2025, but I've heard rumors that it could happen as soon as this season.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
It could be changed. And last year proved that having to change the schedule as much time, it's not that it's doable. So it could happen. I think the Big 12 won't be a Power 5 anymore. It'd be similar to the Mid-American and AAC. West Virginia, that's tough. They've had problems getting into the ACC before. I think a lot of I've heard rumors of its, academic requirements with the university, why they're not being accepted there. You got TV market issues it's not a huge market. And if you're talking about the Pittsburgh area, you have Pitt in the ACC. I think the only savior could be is if they split to the 4 super conferences.
Which seems like they've been headed that way.
Which would be the SEC would have their 16. Pac-12 would take a lot of the leftover teams from the Big 12. And maybe ACC picks up Notre Dame and West Virginia, but I don't know.
From a conference perspective and a geographic perspective, the ACC makes the most sense out of anything.
It would be a lot better.
And people have been saying this time around, West Virginia is more set up to join the ACC than they were last time. I don't know if that's academic wise, or I know they've upgraded facilities. I don't know, whatever it is, people have been saying right now they're in a better position than they were last time they left the conference.
Yeah.
So maybe it seems like a division with Pitt and Virginia Tech would gladly take West Virginia from a competitive standpoint. I don't know. I mean, you look at the Big Ten. That was my initial thought when I heard all this, but it doesn't look like West Virginia would belong in that division, the Big Ten as it stands right now.
They could, but it's the same issues, the same academic stuff.
Yeah.
I think would hold them out.
We got to go somewhere.
Might not end up anywhere. You might end up as an independent or playing in one of these smaller Group of 5 conferences.
Don't tell me that.
I think that's just as likely as playing in the ACC or Big Ten right now.
Don't tell me that.
Unfortunately, it could be really bad for WV. I mean, look at UConn. UConn out of the Big East, they didn't get into the ACC. They had one of the best basketball programs, and I mean they're like non-existent now. It would hurt.
It would hurt,
especially with West Virginia starting to do really well in recruiting.
I know. I was just going to bring that up. We've been talking. Oh my God, we've been talking the past 3 weeks about recruiting and it's improving and how much better. Now with this, I mean, you're basically in limbo because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It might make a lot of these recruits question, whoa, is this where I want to go?
We will lose the bigger recruits if we're not in
Definitely. And even now, people that have West Virginia on their short list might take a different look at it and be like, I don't know where West Virginia is going to be next year.
It's going to hurt because until this stuff gets resolved, people aren't going to come here.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to transfer. It's so easy to decommit and recommit somewhere else.
Do you think there's any way Oklahoma and Texas get denied?
From what I heard, Oklahoma, I think, is going to be in. There's been some talk about not wanting Texas in, but I've heard that they're probably just going to get in. Rumors were that Texas A&M and Missouri didn't want Texas in because Texas A&M wanted to be the only Texas team in the SEC, but Texas is going to get in. Texas is forfeiting a lot. I mean, I don't know if it's as good of a move for Texas. It's going to be rough.
That's what, when I first saw it, I was like, why would Texas want to be in the SEC?
Oklahoma can compete in there.
Yeah, Texas is going to be a bottom dweller in the SEC.
Crashed.
Plus, people were talking about, too, if they take Oklahoma and Texas, they'd have to take Texas Tech and Oklahoma State.
No, they won't take those.
I've heard that. They're saying they're a package deal, or Texas Tech and Oklahoma State would try to block that move.
Nah, they have their 16. All they got to do is pay the fee to get out, which they'll make up in TV
and
rights.
This is all for a measly $50 million more. Out of all the money they make already, they're going to crash this conference. And I'm not quite as worried about West Virginia as you, but man, some of these smaller teams, the bottom dwellers of the Big 12, they might be in trouble.
They're set. They're going to go to the Pac-12.
How's that set, though? I mean, it's not the Big 12.
Huh?
I don't think that's set.
It's a big enough conference. They're gonna they know where they're gonna go. I don't think for them it is as much of an issue.
Well, all I know is by next week, this time, we're going to know a lot more because I feel like this is moving very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have an official announcement. I don't know how true this is. I heard there was going to be a vote for Oklahoma and Texas this week.
Yeah, and I've heard that it was already a done deal in some places too. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe by next show we'll have a better idea. It's worrisome. I don't know what's going to happen. You might have an easier year if Oklahoma is gone.
Dump out. Hey, my prediction's looking better if Texas and Oklahoma leaves. That's for sure. I'm definitely going over 6. I don't know. I'm worried. I wasn't worried. Now you got me worried.
Yeah, I mean,
you're one of the doom and gloom people. I was going into this looking, I'm pretty okay. West Virginia's gonna be. It's WVU. Now I'm worried.
It's all about being in a Power 5 conference.
Yeah. More worried about recruiting than anything as of now, but
they have a lot to lose if they don't get picked up by somebody.
But how good, if we do get into the ACC, that seems like the perfect opportunity for West Virginia, not only to up their recruiting, but then you have Pitt, you have Virginia Tech, you have the North Carolina teams, which I like.
It would be good. It would be good for the football team.
Bigger network, more exposure.
It would help a lot with limiting that travel.
Travel too.
Those long trips.
Less trips to Texas.
Like teams that are, a lot closer. It'd be nice to have a division with Pitt and Virginia Tech.
And West Virginia fans travel strong. You're going to sell out those stadiums, ACC.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Cincinnati comes and scoops up and gets that spot.
Cincinnati? Who wants Cincinnati?
It's a bigger market than West Virginia.
I don't think so.
It is a bigger
No one
market.
wants to go to Cincinnati.
It happened last time when they picked up Louisville.
Louisville's a better school, though. Cincinnati's not that. It's not better than WVU.
Back in the day, it was similar.
I don't know. I'm a little more confident in WVU than you are, I feel like, as a program.
It was down to WVU and Louisville, and they took Louisville like
Did you see Neil Brown's facility upgrades though?
It's all about money.
They were shown off this week. It looks nice.
You have Pitt in the Western PA, West Virginia area. You could either go to a city, Cincinnati, get that TV market, or West Virginia where you already have a team. If you're talking about money, Cincinnati.
Well, I don't like you anymore.
Football team. I mean,
You're making me nervous.
Our football team has been killing, and we're out there winning conference championships and anything. The football teams are similar. Yes, we're better than Cincinnati.
We're way better than Cincinnati.
We're not good enough to. I don't think we're.
I feel like West Virginia is more established to move to the ACC and become a power football program than Cincinnati is. Even though it's about market and money, do you want to bring in a team that's going to sit at the bottom of the division?
I don't think it would be any different than in the Big 12.
Oh, I think so.
Be similar to the Big East, back when there was Miami and Virginia Tech.
What Harry's really trying to say is subscribe.
You got Florida State, you got Clemson, you got Miami, you got Virginia Tech. All these teams are fairly good. Especially in Florida State and Miami have been down. If they start coming back, Miami's starting to come back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Miami used to beat on us all the time.
Hey, but we stole Jacoby Spells from Miami.
Now you got Clemson. Clemson's tough.
Clemson is tough. They're a power team now. They're probably the best team in the
Florida State, they've been really down, but if they come back any kind, there'll be a problem. There'll be some way you'll have to build up talent and hopefully get everything together to make a run for a year or two and restart the process. It'll be similar to the Big 12. Whereas the Big 12, you had Oklahoma.
Yeah.
There was one good team, but you could compare it to Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miami's better than what Texas has been. They'll probably be better than what Iowa State as far as I think West Virginia struggles more. West Virginia struggles against teams that have more talent.
Well,
teams they might be having a bad year, but they'll lose to teams that are like that. Florida State, I remember playing Florida State in the bowls when they weren't very good, and they beat us. They have the talent.
Well, yeah.
You got Florida State, Miami, Clemson. They're all going to pick up the best recruits.
But this isn't 10 years ago. We can't confuse it.
What have we done since we've been in the Big 12?
We cover this is a West Virginia channel right here.
I'm being realistic.
I know. I think we're better now than we were.
We've been there for what? Almost hasn't been 10 years. It's going to be 8.
Yeah. To be fair, though,
we've never won the conference. The best we finished, I think, was 3rd. Was that year with Greer?
Yeah. To be fair, we were coming off of this. The Pat White era. That's a hard era to catch up to. Have we had the talent since then? And Geno Smith, he had himself a year and kind of had some bad luck and blew it at the end. But since then, and since going to the Big 12, we've had Holgerson, who underperformed as a coach. We had Will Greer, was good. He was in Heisman talks for a little bit. I never thought he should have been.
That year too.
Huh?
Did they underperform that year too?
They did underperform that year. But from a talent perspective, and again, this plays into it, I would say the Holgerson era wasn't as good as we were promised. And I would say we haven't had that top tier QB since Geno Smith.
Another thing is football. Okay, I think it will be similar to the Big 12. Basketball is going to be a struggle.
So that's what a lot of people have been saying.
Basketball, you're going to have to play Duke. You're going to play NC. You're going to have to play Syracuse.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. We'll see. I would like the ACC, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, I thought so until this show. So if you're a West Virginia fan and you're feeling blue right now, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because maybe we'll have better news next week. If you need to pick me up and you're a Steeler fan, subscribe because the Steelers are headed in the right direction. So,
or if we need to fix, hopefully that line can get speed, and if that line plays any kind of if that line becomes solid and good,
Mhm.
becomes a strength, Steelers are going to be a problem next year.
There you go. So Harry is up on the Steelers, and he took the wind out of West Virginia.
West Virginia, I'm down on right now.
Harry made me almost throw my West Virginia. No, I would never throw it out, but boy, it made me cry.
The future's looking gloomy. I'm just saying they got to get it figured out. It's like last time when teams left.
Yeah.
It was a
It's
problem.
sad too because it was all good just a week ago. Let me see what I did there.
It's been coming. I mean,
well, like I said, it's moving quick. Oklahoma and Texas could be in a new division by the end of the week. So hopefully that means West Virginia is making quick moves, or the NCAA is looking at the Power Four conferences. So, I mean, I think that seems like the only hope I have here, now that you've made me feel terrible, is it seems like they've been moving in the direction of the Power Four conferences for a while now. It seems like they want to do that. It seems like it makes sense with the playoff format that they've been pushing for. So that could be the saving grace and maybe the way to go.
I hope.
Yes.
I hope we end up in one of those four.
And from a travel perspective, if they go to the ACC, I can see a lot more games. So I like
it.
That.
Will help. It will help a lot. As far as just even the team performing.
Yes.
In any sport, basketball, football, it will help a lot. Playing closer.
Well, if you're still watching after Harry's little speech, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. We'll have way more for you next week. Remember, Penguins free agency hits this week. Steelers are getting deep into training camp. We'll keep an eye on that. And by next week's show, something's going to be happening in college football. So let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen. Are you feeling the ACC? Are you doom and gloom like this guy over here? Let us know your thoughts on that. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Less than 10 go to 100 subscribers. We're trying to hit 100 by football season. Do that. And hey, if you're not following us on social media, H&J Talk Sports, H&J Talk, not Talks, Talk, H&J Talk Sports on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us over there so you can talk with us. Get some up-to-date. When we get that news, talk to us on Twitter and Instagram. We'll let you know our initial thoughts. So, Harry, do you want to kill any more of our puppies before the show is over? No?
I got nothing else.
He's got nothing else. He's officially destroyed our dreams. We'll catch you guys next time on H&J Talk Sports. Maybe we'll dissolve by then.
Guys, episode 21 next week.
Episode 21. Will we hit 100 subscribers by then?
Get to 100 by August.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
I was waiting to use that all show, but you just like put me in depression, so I never got to. But yeah, 100 subscribers. Can we do it by next time? We'll see you next time, guys.